Anatomy and Physiology MBLEx exam question and answer. Question 47. Which muscle is a prime mover for neck extension? A. Extensor hallicus longus. B. Sternocleidomastoid. C. Rhomboids major. D. Splenius capitis. The right answer is Splenius capitis. Explanation: the Splenius capitis muscle originates along the lower half of the knuckle ligament, spinous process of the 7th cervical vertebrae and the upper 3rd or 4th thoracic vertebrae, which insert into the mastoid process of the temporal bone. This gives the muscle a perfect ability to extend the neck and assists with lateral rotation and flexion of the cervical spine. Question 48. Which part of the brain is responsible for maintaining body temperature and regulating thirst and hunger? A. Pineal body. B. Thalamus. C. Hypothalamus. D. Medulla oblongata. The right answer is hypothalamus. Explanation: the hypothalamus is responsible for certain metabolic processes and other activities of the autonomic nervous system. It synthesizes and secretes certain neurohormones, often called releasing hormones or hypothalamic hormones, and these in turn stimulate or inhibit the secretion of pituitary hormones. The hypothalamus controls body temperature, hunger, important aspects of parenting and attachment behaviors, thirst, fatigue, sleep, and circadian rhythms. Question 49. What is the outside membrane of the myelin sheath called? A. Axons. B. Neurilemma. C. Oligodendroglia. D. Astrocyte. The right answer is Neurilemma. Explanation: the outside layer of the myelin sheath is called the Neurilemma. Question 50. Name the meninges in order from superficial to deep. A. Arachnoid, pia, dura. B. Pia, dura, arachnoid. C. Pia, arachnoid, dura. D. Dura, arachnoid, pia. The right answer is dura, arachnoid, pia. Explanation: the meninges consist of 3 fibrous layers, from superficial deep, dura mater, arachnoid, pia mater. Question 51. Neutrophils, basophils and eosinophils are types of A. Leukocytes. B. Myocytes. C. Pathogens. D. Enzymes. The right answer is leukocytes. Explanation: neutrophils, basophils and eosinophils are the 3 types of granular leukocytes, white blood cells, of the immune system which consume infectious diseases and foreign materials. Question 52. Which muscle does the radial nerve innervate? A. Biceps. B. Triceps. C. Flexor digitorum longus. D. Pectorals major. The right answer is triceps. Explanation: the radial nerve innervates all muscles of the posterior arm, and this includes the triceps muscle. Question 53. Which part of the lymphatic system is responsible for filtering the lymph? A. Vessels. B. Nodes. C. Duct. D. Blood vessel. The right answer is nodes. Explanation: lymph nodes are a small ball or oval-shaped organ of the immune system that contains lymphocytes, a type of white blood cell, which is responsible for transferring pathogens and waste into the lymph nodes for filtering. Question 54. What is the cranial nerve V5? A. Vagus. B. Hypoglossal. C. Glossopharyngeal. D. Trigeminal. The right answer is trigeminal. Explanation: the trigeminal nerve, the 5th cranial nerve, or simply CNV, is a nerve responsible for sensation in the face and certain motor functions such as biting and chewing. It is the largest of the cranial nerves. Question 55. From where does cranial nerve 8 conduct impulses? A. Eye. B. Ear. C. nose. D. Throat. The right answer is ear. Explanation: cranial nerve 8 brings sound and information about 1 and number 8217's position and movement in space into the brain. The auditory and vestibular systems subserve several functions basic to clinical medicine and to psychiatry. Question 56. Skin surface areas that are supplied by a single spinal nerve are called: A. Pacinian corpuscles. B. Mechanoreceptors. C. Dermatomes. D. Nociceptors. The right answer is dermatomes. Explanation: a dermatome is an area of skin that is mainly supplied by a single spinal nerve. There are 8 cervical nerves, C1 being an exception with no dermatome, 12 thoracic nerves, 5 lumbar nerves and 5 sacral nerves. Each of these nerves relays sensation, including pain, from a particular region of skin to the brain. Question 57. Name the photoreceptors of the eyes. A. Organ of Corti. B. Cristae ampullaris. C. Gustatory cells. D. Rods and cones. The right answer is rods and cones. Explanation: the retina contains 2 types of photoreceptors, rods and cones. The rods are more numerous, some 120 million, and are more sensitive than the cones. Question 58. What do cross and number 8217s and bulbs sense? A. Pressure. B. Proprioception. C. Touch. D. Pain. The right answer is touch. Explanation: bulbous capsules in the skin containing sensory nerve endings, which may be mechanoreceptors, but which are also thought to be thermoreceptors sensitive to cold and activated by temperatures less than 20 degrees Celsius. They occur more superficially in the skin than heat receptors. Question 59. Which part of the neuron carries impulses away from the soma? A. Axon. B. Dendrite. C. Node of Ranvier. D. Myelin. The right answer is axon. Explanation: an axon, from Greek, axis, also known as a nerve fiber, is a long, slender projection of a nerve cell, or neuron, that typically conducts electrical impulses away from the neuron and number 8217's cell body. The function of the axon is to transmit information to different neurons, muscles and glands. Question 60. The pons, medulla, and midbrain are parts of the A. Diencephalon. B. Cerebral cortex. C. Cerebellum. D. Brainstem. The right answer is brainstem. Explanation: the brainstem, or brainstem, is the posterior part of the brain, adjoining and structurally continuous with the spinal cord. In humans it is usually described as including the medulla oblongata, myelencephalon, pons, part of metencephalon, and midbrain, mesencephalon. Question 61. Which division of the brain coordinates skeletal muscle movement? A. Cerebellum. B. Cerebrum. C. Brainstem. D. Thalamus. The right answer is cerebellum. Explanation: the cerebellum, Latin for little brain, is a region of the brain that plays an important role in motor control. It may also be involved in some cognitive functions such as attention and language, and in regulating fear and pleasure responses. Its movement-related functions are the most solidly established. The cerebellum does not initiate movement, but it contributes to coordination, precision, and accurate timing. Question 62. Cerebrum controls A. Willed movements. B. Emotions. C. Sensory perception. D. All of the above. The right answer is all of the above. Explanation: the cerebrum is a major part of the brain, controlling emotions, hearing, vision, personality and much more. It controls all voluntary actions, Question 63. Functions of the nervous system are: A. Communication. B. Same as endocrine system. C. Control. D. All of these. The right answer is all of these. Question 64. Loss of ability to make voluntary movements is: A. Anesthesia. B. Paralysis. C. Stroke. D. Multiple sclerosis. The right answer is paralysis. Explanation: paralysis is loss of muscle function for one or more muscles. Paralysis can be accompanied by a loss of feeling, sensory loss, in the affected area if there is sensory damage as well as motor. About 1 in 50 people have been diagnosed with some form of paralysis, transient or permanent. Question 65. The N number 8220 fight or flight and number 8221 syndrome is a result of: A. Parasympathetic stimulation. B. Sympathetic stimulation. C. Autonomic stimulation. D. Peripheral stimulation. The right answer is sympathetic stimulation. Explanation: the sympathetic nervous system, SNS, together with the parasympathetic nervous system comprise the autonomic nervous system. Its general action is to mobilize the body in a fight or flight response. It is, however, constantly active at a basic level to maintain homeostasis. Question 66. What is the name for the braid of nerves that supply the lower extremity? A. Brachial plexus. B. Cephalic plexus. C. Sciatic plexus. D. Lumbosacral plexus. The right answer is lumbosacral plexus. Explanation: the lumbar plexus is a nervous plexus in the lumbar region of the body which forms part of the lumbosacral plexus. It is formed by the divisions of the first 4 lumbar nerves, L1 L4, and from contributions of the subcostal nerve, T12, which is the last thoracic nerve. Additionally, the ventral rami of the 4th lumbar nerve pass communicating branches, the lumbosacral trunk, to the sacral plexus. The nerves of the lumbar plexus pass in front of the hip joint and mainly support the anterior part of the thigh. Question 67. Name the largest nerve in the body. A. Brachial. B. Sciatic. C. Obturator. D. Popliteal. The right answer is sciatic. Explanation: the sciatic nerve is a large nerve in humans and other animals. It begins in the lower back and runs through the buttock and down the lower limb. It is the longest and widest single nerve in the human body, going from the top of the leg to the foot on the posterior aspect. The sciatic nerve supplies nearly the whole of the skin of the leg, the muscles of the back of the thigh, and those of the leg and foot. Question 68. What nerve is affected when you hit your funny bone? A. Ulnar. B. Median. C. Radial. D. Sciatic. The right answer is ulnar. Explanation: the funny bone sensation is created by a compression of the ulnar nerve as it passes between the medial epicondyle of the humerus and the olecranon process of the ulna. The ulnar nerve is the largest unprotected nerve in the human body and is most susceptible to injury. Question 69. Which of the following senses would be disrupted when a client and number 8217's equilibrium is affected by an inner ear infection? A. Kinesthetic. B. Nociceptive. C. Proprioceptive. D. Chemoreception. The right answer is proprioceptive. Explanation: an inner ear infection can disrupt the fluid within the vestibular system which sends sensory information to the brain. There are 2 main senses that are affected with the loss of equilibrium. The first is the equilibrioception, which detects acceleration. The second is the proprioceptive sense, which maintains and calculates the body and number 8217's placement or positioning within an environment. Question 70. What area of the body does Morton's neuroma affect? A. Feet. B. Hands. C. Lung. D. Elbow. The right answer is feet. Explanation: Morton's neuroma is a benign tumor involving nerve cells that develops between the distal ends of the phalanges and tarsals of the foot. The location can vary and will be near or around the ball of the foot. Symptoms of the condition are pain, tenderness and swelling. The cause of the condition is irritation of the plantar nerve. Question 71. Where are the lumbrical muscles located? A. Lumbar region. B. Shoulder. C. Neck. D. Hands and feet. The right answer is hands and feet. Explanation: Despite their name, the lumbricals are located in the hands and feet and assist with movement of the phalanges in both locations. Question 72. Which is an example of a triangular muscle? A. Frontalis. B. Deltoid. C. Bicep. D. Masseter. The right answer is deltoid. Explanation: It is important to know what the names of muscles refer to when remembering their locations. In this case, deltoid means triangular and, thus, the deltoid muscle is a triangular muscle. Question 73. The usual regulation of hormone levels in the blood depends on a mechanism named A. Cyclic ATP. B. Positive feedback. C. Negative feedback. D. Amplification. The right answer is negative feedback. Explanation: Negative feedback is used to regulate hormones. Example: low levels of calcium in the blood can cause the parathyroid gland to secrete PTH. PTH causes calcium to be extracted from bone, increasing blood calcium levels. However, as soon as the blood calcium levels reach their norms, it makes sense to stop secreting PTH so that we don't and number 8217T have too much calcium extracted from our bones. Question 74. The hormone that is produced in a tissue and diffuses only a short distance is A. PGA. B. Prostaglandin. C. Tissue hormone. D. All of these. The right answer is all of these. Question 75. The tropic hormones are A. Thyroid stimulating hormone, follicle stimulation hormone, antidiuretic hormone, luteinizing hormone. B. Follicle stimulation hormone, melanocyte stimulation hormone, adrenocorticotropic hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone. C. Follicle stimulation hormone, adrenocorticotropic hormone, luteinizing hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone. D. Thyroid stimulating hormone, antidiuretic hormone, oxytocin, prolactin. The right answer is follicle stimulation hormone, adrenocorticotropic hormone, luteinizing hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone. Explanation: Tropic hormones are hormones that have other endocrine glands as their target. Most tropic hormones are produced and secreted by the anterior pituitary. The hypothalamus secretes tropic hormones that target the anterior pituitary, and the thyroid gland secretes thyroxine, which targets the hypothalamus and therefore can be considered a tropic hormone. Question 76. Oxytocin is produced in the A. Hypothalamus. B. Neurohypophysis. C. Breast ducts. D. Adenohypophysis. The right answer is hypothalamus. Explanation: In the hypothalamus, oxytocin is made in magnocellular neurosecretory cells of the supraoptic and paraventricular nuclei, and is stored in herring bodies at the axon terminals in the posterior pituitary. It is then released into the blood from the posterior lobe, neurohypophysis, of the pituitary gland. Question 77. The actions of melatonin is A. Involved in the control of skin. B. Involved in the control of circadian rhythms. C. Involved in the control of pineal gland. D. Involved in the control of liver. The right answer is involved in the control of circadian rhythms, the body, and number 8217 S 24-hour cycle. Question 78. Glands that secrete their products into ducts are called glands. A. Exocrine. B. Endocrine. C. Functional. D. None of the above. The right answer is exocrine. Explanation: exocrine glands are glands of the exocrine system that secrete their essential product by way of a duct to some environment external to itself, either inside the body or on a surface of the body. Exocrine glands are one of two types of glands in the human body, the other being endocrine glands, which secrete their products directly into the bloodstream. Question 79. Glands that secrete their products into the bloodstream are A. Exocrine. B. Endocrine. C. Functional. D. None of the above. The right answer is endocrine. Explanation: endocrine glands are glands of the endocrine system that secrete their products, hormones, directly into the blood rather than through a duct. The major glands of the endocrine system include the pineal gland, pituitary gland, pancreas, ovaries, testes, thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, hypothalamus, gastrointestinal tract, and adrenal glands. Question 80. Which of the following are steroid hormones? A. Estrogen, testosterone, epinephrine. B. ADH, cortisol, PTH. C. Progesterone, testosterone, insulin. D. Testosterone, cortisol, mineralocorticoids. The right answer is testosterone, cortisol, mineralocorticoids. Question 81. The hormone that opposes the action of calcitonin is A. Thyroxine. B. ADH. C. ANH. D. PTH. The right answer is PTH. Explanation: calcitonin opposes the effects of parathyroid hormone, PTH, which acts to increase the blood calcium level. Calcitonin lowers blood calcium levels by suppressing osteoclast activity in the bones and increasing the amount of calcium excreted in the urine. Question 82. Human chorionic gonadotropin is secreted from the A. placenta. B. adenohypophysis. C. neurohypophysis. D. ovary. The right answer is placenta. Explanation: human chorionic gonadotropin, HCG, is a hormone produced by the syncytiotrophoblasts, a portion of the placenta. Question 83. The releasing hormones are secreted from the underscore, and act on the underscore? A. hypothalamus, posterior pituitary. B. anterior pituitary, other endocrine glands. C. hypothalamus, adenohypophysis. D. adrenal cortex, kidneys. The right answer is hypothalamus, adenohypophysis. Explanation: hypothalamic releasing hormones equals hypothalamic releasing factors, neurosecretory substances, usually peptides, which are synthesized by hypothalamic neurons which are monitoring aspects of internal homeostasis. The substances are released into the hypophyseal portal circulation to travel to the anterior pituitary, where they stimulate specific adenohypophyseal cells to synthesize and secrete particular trophic hormones. Question 84. The hormone that stimulates the thyroid to increase its secretion is A. MSH. B. ANH. C. TSH. D. ACTH. The right answer is TSH. Explanation: if the thyroxine level is normal, the pituitary gland is inhibited from releasing thyroid-stimulating hormone, TSH. As a result, no further thyroxine is produced. When thyroxine levels are low, the pituitary gland produces TSH. This causes more thyroxine to be produced by the thyroid gland. Question 85. The action of aldosterone is: A. Increase water retention, increase potassium reabsorption. B. Increase water and sodium reabsorption. C. Increase water reabsorption only. D. Increase urine output. The right answer is increase water and sodium reabsorption. Explanation: aldosterone is a steroid hormone, mineralocorticoid family, produced by the outer section, zona glomerulosa, of the adrenal cortex in the adrenal gland. It plays a central role in the regulation of blood pressure, mainly by acting on the distal tubules and collecting ducts of the nephron, increasing reabsorption of ions and water in the kidney, to cause the conservation of sodium, secretion of potassium, increased water retention, and increased blood pressure. Question 86. The function of thymosin is unknown. A. True. B. False. The right answer is false. Explanation: the function of the thymosin hormone is to restore the T cells. The hormone of thymosin also helps to reduce the amyloid disease. Thymosin is considered to be a type of protein. Question 87. LH acts on: A. Interstitial cells. B. Sperm. C. Ovarian follicle. D. And C. The right answer is A and C. Explanation: luteinizing hormone, LH, also known as luteinizin and sometimes luteinizin, is a hormone produced by gonadotroph cells in the anterior pituitary gland. In females, an acute rise of LH surge, triggers ovulation 3, and development of the corpus luteum. In males, where LH had also been called interstitial cell stimulating hormone, ICSH, it stimulates Leydig cell production of testosterone. It acts synergistically with FSH. Question 88. The hormone that is primarily responsible for glycogenolysis is: A. GH. B. Glucagon. C. Insulin. D. Cortisol. The right answer is glucagon. Explanation: the major hormones that regulate blood glucose are insulin and glucagon. After a meal, blood glucose is supplied by dietary carbohydrate. During fasting, the liver maintains blood glucose levels by the processes of glycogenolysis and gluconeogenesis. Question 89. The hormones that increase the metabolic rate in all cells: A. Thyroid gland. B. Adrenal gland. C. Parathyroid gland. D. Pancreas. The right answer is thyroid gland. Explanation: two of these hormones, called thyroxine, T4, and triiodothyronine, T3, increase your body and number 8217:S metabolic rate. Essentially, the body and number 8217:S metabolic rate is how quickly the cells in your body use the energy stored within them. Thyroid hormones make cells use more energy. Question 90. There are separate parathyroid glands and they found A. 4, on the back of the thyroid gland. B. 2, on the back of the thyroid gland. C. 4, on the front of the thyroid gland. D. 2, on the front of the thyroid gland. The right answer is 4, on the back of the thyroid gland. Question 91. The zona fasciculata secretes: A. Glucocorticoids. B. Mineralocorticoids. C. Sex hormones. D. And C. The right answer is A and C. Explanation: the zona fasciculata constitutes the middle zone of the adrenal cortex, sitting directly beneath the zona glomerulosa. Constituent cells are organized into bundles or fascicles. The zone of fasciculata chiefly produces glucocorticoids, mainly cortisol in the human, which regulates the metabolism of glucose, especially in times of stress. Question 92. The primary function of red blood cells is A. Defense against microbes. B. Transport of gases. C. Blood clotting. D. To produce plasma. The right answer is transport of gases. Explanation: the function of red blood cells is to bring oxygen to the heart. The function of red blood cells is to carry oxygen around the body after the blood has been pumped around the body.